Welcome. In the world of cloud computing, things are always changing. But right now, we're seeing two massive forces. I'm talking about artificial intelligence and edge computing that are completely reshaping the entire landscape. So let's dive in and see how these aren't just changing the game, they're basically inventing a whole new one.
All right, so this is it, the final installment, part 5 of our series, all based on the great research from Virtualization Options LLC. We've talked about the foundations, security, performance, all the big stuff. But today, we're going to look ahead. We're exploring the new trends that are changing all the rules we thought we knew.
So, here's our roadmap. We'll start with this new frontier and see how the whole cloud debate is shifting. Then, we'll get into the AI workload puzzle, which is a big one. After that, we're moving out to the edge. And finally, we'll tie it all together to help you think about building for the future.
For what feels like forever, the big question has been pretty simple, right? Public cloud or private cloud? But honestly, with all the powerful new tech coming out, that question is starting to feel a little, well, outdated. The conversation's getting way more interesting now and definitely a lot more complex.
In this image, it really nails the new way of thinking. We're moving past just picking a spot to park our data. The real goal now is to build this smart, spread-out system that can handle the next wave of applications, no matter where they have to run.
So let's jump into that first game changer, AI. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. This isn't just another app you spin up. No way. These things have incredibly unique and demanding needs that are forcing all of us to totally rethink our cloud strategies.
So, what makes an AI workload so different? Well, in a word, horsepower. We're talking about processes that need a staggering amount of computational power. And it's not just any power. They often need specialized hardware, like GPUs and KPUs, especially for that heavy lifting phase of training enormous models on huge piles of data.
Now, this is a really critical distinction to get. AI isn't just one single thing. You've got training, which is like sending the AI to school. It's the hard part, building the model, and it needs massive scalable power. But then you have inference. That's the AI actually doing its job, making predictions in real time. And for that, what you need more than anything is speed, super low latency.
So because of that difference, the training part is just a perfect fit for the public cloud. Why? Well, for one, you get pretty much unlimited access to all that fancy hardware without having to buy it. You can scale up to handle absolutely gigantic data sets. And the pay-as-you-go model is just perfect for these jobs that are super intense but might not run all the time. But inference, that's a whole different story. When you need that split-second, real-time response, like an autonomous car deciding to brake, or a bank stopping a fraudulent transaction as it happens, you need almost zero delay. You might also need tighter security. That's why inference often makes more sense in a private cloud, or even better, right out on the edge, as close to the action as possible. So what's the big takeaway here? It's not about picking one or the other. The smartest play, and what we're seeing everywhere, is a hybrid strategy. You use the massive engine of the public cloud to train your models, and then you deploy those trained models out to your private cloud or the edge so they can do their job fast and securely.
And just so we're clear, this isn't some small niche trend. The spending on AI infrastructure is projected to hit $45 billion by 2027. Let that sink in. This is a huge shift that's driving real money and real architectural decisions today.
All right, that brings us to our second huge trend, and it builds perfectly on what we've just been talking about, computing on the edge. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Instead of sending all your data way off to some central cloud, you bring the computing power closer to where the data is actually being made.
Yeah, this image right here is the perfect way to picture it. Don't think of the edge as something that replaces the cloud. Think of it as this huge, sprawling, decentralized extension of the cloud. It's a whole network of little powerhouses that can process data on the spot for faster, smarter results. So officially, edge computing is all about pushing the work, the computation and the storage, away from the big central data center and out closer to where the data comes from. And it's all done for two big reasons: to slash latency, that annoying delay, and to cut down on the amount of data you have to clog up your networks with. So what's really fueling this fire? Well, it's the explosion of real-world stuff that just can't afford to wait. We're talking billions of IoT devices, self-driving cars that need to react now, smart factories, and all sorts of real-time interactive apps. And the scale we're talking about is just mind-boggling. By 2025, we're expecting to see 75 billion connected devices out there.
Trying to send every bit of data from all of those things back to a central cloud, it's just not going to work. It's not practical.
And I really want to drive this point home. The edge and the cloud are not fighting each other. They're partners. They work together in this really elegant hybrid system where each one does what it does best.
So how does this partnership actually work? Well, it usually looks something like this. First, data gets processed right at the edge, where it's created for that instant response. Then, it might get bundled up and sent to a regional private cloud hub. And finally, the really important summarized data gets sent to the big public cloud for deep analysis and, yep, you guessed it, training the next round of AI models. It all comes full circle.
And why does this matter so much? Speed. For a lot of these edge applications, the goal is a response time of less than 5 milliseconds. That's practically instantaneous. It's a speed that a big, centralized cloud that's hundreds or thousands of miles away just can't promise.
Okay, so we've seen how AI and the edge are basically rewriting the playbook. Let's pull all of this together and figure out what it actually means for you when you're thinking about building your future infrastructure. So what are the big things to remember here? First, the future of the cloud isn't just one big thing in one place. It's a spread-out hybrid ecosystem. Second, for AI, you need that split strategy. Public cloud for the heavy lifting of training, and private or edge for the fast work of inference. Third, think of the edge as an extension that gives your cloud real-time superpowers. And finally, the right answer for you is always going to be a balance between your needs for security, speed, and connectivity.
What this all means is that the big strategic question you need to be asking yourself is changing. It's less about where your stuff should live, public or private, and a whole lot more about how all these different pieces can work together as one smart, seamless system. And that really brings us to the final thought. The debate about if you should use the cloud, that's over. The real question, the one that's going to define everything for the next decade, is how you're going to build your future on top of this new, intelligent, distributed foundation. And that wraps up our look into the future of cloud computing. This entire analysis was based on the fantastic research put together by Virtualization Options LLC. Thanks so much for joining us.